The cooler weather is here, and with that, many Minnesotans look to find ways to tighten up the energy efficiency of their home. Here to discuss that issue, we have the Department of Commerce Commissioner Mike Rothman. Thank you for joining us, Commissioner. The Department of Commerce does offer funds to help low-income Minnesotans weatherize their homes. What exactly can these funds be used for?
Well, we have an assistance network throughout the state. So you can have somebody come into the home, take a look at whether or not you're leaking hot air, if your furnaces aren't working properly or they're inefficient, or insulation issues like that. And we found that people who are living in, and this is nationwide, so we work with the Department of Energy, and we find that the older homes tend to be less energy efficient. They are, putting out a lot of electric energy, gas energy. So what we do is we have folks go into those homes. We work with local agencies, check to see where we can have savings, and to actually do the changes to the home. And when that happens, you can lower the energy bill. You can save dollars over time, and for a lot of folks, particularly low-income people, it does help a lot during wintertime. And
I found it interesting in a recent press release that it discussed some of the positive trickle-down impacts outside of just saving money on an energy bill. Job creation is one example. How do you see the positive tentacles flowing?
Well, you're right. There is job creation. We have, through the last 3-4 years, trained and been able to work with installers, people who go into the homes, fix the homes, and they are becoming relatively skilled individuals who can go in and weatherize homes. So there's a large number of these people throughout the state of Minnesota that not only do the homes get fixed, but there are great jobs to do it.
Based on the numbers, there is great need for this on the number of applicants. There is an argument made, however, by many that this doesn't necessarily need to be something that government pays for. It could come from the utilities, or the homeowners themselves could find ways to pay. Why shouldn't the homeowner make these changes, him or herself?
Well, it's a very good question. The Department of Energy and states have had energy efficiency programs in place for well over 30 years. Low-income individuals, first of all, are typically unable to afford it. They typically are at a point where their energy bills are so high that they need any assistance that they can get. And then for those people who, like myself and others, can afford to do the weatherization ourselves, we do that. There are also rebate programs that the utilities, natural gas and electric companies have for everybody to take advantage of. So we encourage people to do that as well.
We talked a little bit about the need. Approximately 16,000 families apply each year in Minnesota. A fraction are accepted. Now there's this movement to keep baby boomers in their homes. So how do you think that's going to impact this program in the future? Well,
as more people stay in the home, obviously, the more people will need to have homes that are energy efficient, and particularly because, again, as we're talking, it's important to help folks with their budgets and their situation. So it just brings the energy bill down. It helps them, and then it helps all of us, because if we make all of that the individual homes and then all of them together aggregate that, we save energy. We use less energy as a state, and that is a benefit that we all have, and we don't have to build another power plant or anything to do that. So if we're all doing this together, it just makes much more sense.
My last question for you, Commissioner, is funding. A lot of this comes from the federal level with so much uncertainty going on in Congress right now. How stable is this funding? And you've been able to supplement it locally. Do you think that's going to continue?
Well, the funding started to become difficult a year ago with federal sequestration, which is cut back on the weatherization funds for all states, including Minnesota. So what we've done in Minnesota is taken low-income heating assistance, a sister program, and we have the authority to supplement the weatherization program. So what we did is we did a little bit of that last year. We're going to do it again, and then we had some state dollars to increase weatherization. One for job creation to support that, two to do the energy efficiency. This year, there's a bill in Congress to continue those funding levels at the old levels, and we're advocating to have that passed again, and if that happens, that will be perfect. If not, we will look at ways to resolve it and do what we can with what we have.
Okay, Commissioner, again, we're out of time, but we will, of course, reference the website so consumers can learn a little bit more about the program. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.